welcome back. Easter is almost upon us, and with that many people, at that time, I'm a bit distracted here. They're so beautiful. People do think about giving a rabbit as a pet, but it is important to remember that bunnies are not just a novelty item. They require the same long-term commitment as cats and as dogs as well.
And joining us this morning with expert advice on what to do if you're thinking of getting a little bunny as a pet, is Mary Ward. Mary, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted myself. I'm afraid this little one is going to jump, but she probably won't.
Fine. No, she won't. She's very happy there.
Mary, who do we have here? Am I stroking the mama?
You are stroking Caroline. That's the mum, and she's
Caroline.
Caroline, yes, and she is 3-year-old. Okay. And she had 6 babies, and they're 4 weeks old now. Babies, just 4 weeks.
You can see the difference in the hair. These are sort of short-haired, and then this little fella over here is long hair.
They're different breeding. So she would be more of a line head, and then they would have been crossed with a lop-eared rabbit. So hence the woollier, the furrier. We call them kittens.
Right, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, now, I actually was a rabbit owner years and years ago as a little girl. It was my first pet, actually, called Flopsy, and I remember the joy of receiving the rabbit and just the excitement. Oh,
yes,
she was just beautiful. She was white with pink eyes, of course,
Lovely,
the classic. But I suppose, you know, as a young girl, I did learn the do's and don'ts, but there's many, really, when it comes to rabbits, and I don't know that I quite got it, to be honest.
Yes, yeah. well, the first thing to remember is that rabbits will live up to about 10-year-old. Can live up to 10-year-old. So, I mean, they're not an animal that you just buy and you're going to have them for a couple of years.
It's a
long-term investment. And the other thing is, to get them as quiet as this, you must handle them all the time. So you must interact with them. You can't just buy a bunny and pop it in the cage and leave it there.
Are they social?
It has to be very social, and they need then to have the continuous interaction with their owner.
Well, yeah, I mean, but Laura, I mean, I like I said, I had the bunny in the bed, I had the bunny running around the sofa. I don't know, that's probably not the done thing,
well,
is
no,
it?
that's okay. That's okay, as long as you're interacting with them, and then they have their own cage or they have their own hutch, and they're properly fed, and of course hygiene is probably utmost is key to the whole thing.
What sort of children would they be suited to? I would imagine younger children, because they're very sort of precious. Younger children would probably not be well equipped to mind them.
No, I would say that you'd want to be about 7 or 8. You're starting maybe 8 or 9 to understand that you have to mind them, and you have to clean them out daily, and you have to feed them daily.
So there's a lot of
there is a lot of work,
and it's a responsibility.
It is a big responsibility.
It can also be expensive, because of course you have to take into mind vaccinations.
Very true. I would say when you buy your bunny, the best thing is to go to your vet and plan a yearly med and vet programme. And that, like, there's not that much work, but you want to know when you worm them, when you actually...
They need to be wormed.
They need to be wormed. Every animal needs to be wormed. Every animal.
Well, I didn't even know that. Now, I suppose this is the right time for us to find out what are the do's for having a pet rabbit. So, obviously, you need to pet them every day.
Handle them.
Feed and water them. That's quite...
Now, the other thing about feeding, they like a grass nut. We give these a grass nut, and we also give them hay and water. And the one thing people often think, when we go to schools all the time with our bunnies, and the one thing everybody says, oh, we give them carrots. But actually, carrots are not good for bunnies.
Really?
They're very high content, or sugar content.
God, no, you see,
they're like chocolate to us. Humans.
So carrots are a no-no?
Well, as a treat.
That might have been the reason my poor bunny wasn't didn't survive too long. Well, I mean, I suppose when you're young and you don't realise, this is the important thing to note, that there are certain foods that are damaging as much as they'd be damaging to dogs or cats. So bunnies are the same. And they're very sensitive little tummies as well.
They have sensitive. If you change their food, they can get a little bit of diarrhoea or whatever, but you have to watch that all the time.
What should we keep in mind that we shouldn't do if we're going to become a rabbit owner?
Well, you have to you must keep them clean. That's the big thing.
And we need time, I suppose, to mind them. As you say, if you were to buy one, put it in a hutch and then leave to go to work every day, it's not very fair.
Yeah, it's not fair on them. I mean, most people would only have one rabbit. And now they're fine. They can live on their own. But it's a good thing if you realise that they are a bit lonely, or they don't move around their hutch a lot. That might be a sign that you need to get someone else.
Just looking at the graphics there, it says, don't hold your rabbit incorrectly as it can cause damage. Now, how are we and Laura?
You're grand. As long as you hold the back legs. It's very important that you hold the back legs. You often see children go like that. That's not good.
Back legs.
Yeah.
I have to say, their feet or their legs are little... They're the cutest little things out there.
The other thing is clipping their nails. When you
goodness,
put them on children's
flying
knees,
off.
a lot of them often say, oh, they feel tickly, and that is actually a sign the nails are too sharp.
Okay.
So you can learn that. The vet will teach you how to do that, or the veterinary nurse, and you can do that yourself in 6 to 8 weeks.
Do they respond, Mary, to human contact? See the way now myself and Laura, we smoke them all day.
They love handling. They love that.
Gorgeous.
So
it's very therapeutic,
actually. It is, actually. We bring them to nursing homes all the time. It's really therapeutic.
Do they like exercise, Mary?
Yes, it's good. But, well, You can leave them. You can have them indoors during the winter time, but it is nice to have a little hutch outside.
Well, I'm just thinking about overfeeding them, because if they're pretty sedentary, then they're not going to get the exercise and lose the weight.
Yeah, it's good to have some sort of an outdoor area that you can pop them out.
What about nipping? Because I had shoes, the tassels were all gone.
Yeah,
Flopsy wasn't a big fan of my mum, so I don't know. She tended to nip from time to time. Why is that? Does it matter?
Well, I think it's more handling. They stop that
so?
if you handle them all the time.
Okay, they become more placid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So just have a good chat with your vet, have a good think about if this is the right thing for your family.
Exactly.
If you're able to care for it, and then obviously a financial plan in place as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Caroline's looking very well, very placid for someone who just popped out 6 babies.
I know. And it's lovely. They're all a little bit different, which is quite sweet. This is a beautiful breed. Can you talk us through some of the breeds?
Well, that's a lop-beard. She's more lop-beard now. She's a line head, and she came out more lop-beard. Her father's a lop-beard.
And then, of course, we have the lovely... Is it ginger? You call caramel?
Ginger, yeah, real ginger, yeah.
Beautiful colour.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Actually, I didn't realise there was so much to learn about.
No, rabbits. What about the boys now, or should I even bring that up? We won't bring that up. No,
3-year-old and a 6-year-old, not good at the moment. With bunnies.
Not yet. Give them another couple of years. Yeah,
exactly. I would imagine you get a lot out of having a rabbit if it's cared for properly and you enjoy the time with them.
You really enjoy them.
Mary, can we keep these for the rest of the show? Because I think Simon would love to hold one as well.
Absolutely, no problem at all.
Simon has vamoosed.
No. Are you allergic?
No, I'm all right.
He's all right. Mary, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Caroline and Bunnies.